Ever heard a strange noise in your house and joked, it must be a ghost? Well, for the Bowen family in 1986, that joke became a terrifying reality, but this wasn't a ghost story. This was something far, far worse. It started subtly, like something out of a horror movie. Objects would move on their own. The TV would switch channels by itself. The family would hear strange tapping and scraping sounds coming from inside the walls. They were convinced their house was haunted, a classic poltergeist case. They even brought in paranormal investigators who couldn't find a rational explanation. The activity escalated. They'd hear whispers when no one was around, feel like they were being watched. It was psychological torture, designed to slowly unravel their sense of safety in their own home. One day, one of the daughters, Tina, was home alone. She heard a noise from the basement. Gathering her courage, she went to investigate. The sounds led her to a small metal cabinet. As she got closer, she saw two eyes staring back at her from the darkness inside. Terrified, she ran from the house, but the police found nothing. The family's fear was dismissed as teenage pranks or overactive imaginations. But the haunting continued, growing bolder and more personal. The man behind the haunting was a local teenager named Daniel LaPlante. He was obsessed with the Bowen's 16-year-old daughter, Tina. He had been secretly calling her, pretending to be someone else trying to get close to her. When his attempts failed, his obsession took a much darker turn. He discovered a way into the family's home through a small, hidden crawl space. This wasn't just a brief break-in. He found the plumbing access and the narrow voids between the walls and decided to move in. From his hidden vantage point, Daniel had complete access to the family's life. He was the ghost. He watched them eat, sleep, and live their lives, completely unaware of his presence just inches away. He became the architect of their terror. He would sneak out at night, drink milk straight from the carton, and put it back, rearrange furniture just enough to make them question their sanity, and change the thermostat. He was playing a twisted game, seeing how far he could push them. The most chilling acts were the messages. Imagine waking up to find "I'm in your room, come find me" scrawled on the wall. The family would search frantically, but he would have already slipped back into his hiding spot, listening to their panic. He was a phantom, always one step ahead. He learned their schedules, their habits, their fears. He wasn't just hiding in their house. He was living in their heads, feeding off their terror. This went on for months. The family was living in a constant state of fear, their home turned into a prison. The horrifying charade finally came to an end one evening. The father of the family, fed up and determined to find the source of the disturbances, was searching the house. He opened a closet in one of the bedrooms and came face to face with the ghost. It was Daniel LaPlante, but he wasn't just standing there. He was dressed in the mother's clothes and a wig, his face painted with makeup, and he was holding a small hatchet. The sight was so shocking, so utterly bizarre, that the father slammed the door shut, trying to process what he'd just seen. He armed himself and went back, but Daniel was gone. He had vanished back into the walls, his secret kingdom. The police were called again, and this time they took it seriously. A full-scale search of the house began. The officers combed through every inch of the home. Finally, they found it. A small, cleverly hidden opening in a closet that led into the labyrinth of crawl spaces and voids within the house structure. Inside, they found evidence of his long-term stay. Empty food wrappers, makeshift bedding, and personal items he had stolen from the family. He had created a nest for himself inside their home, a predator's den. Daniel LaPlante was eventually captured, but not before committing even more heinous crimes after escaping the Bowen house. His story is a chilling reminder that sometimes the monster isn't under the bed or in the closet. Sometimes the monster is in the walls, listening, watching, and waiting. It blurs the line between a ghost story and a true crime nightmare, proving that the most terrifying things are often not supernatural, but all too human. The Bowen family's experience shows how our safest space, our home, can be violated in the most intimate and terrifying way. It wasn't a spirit they were fighting, but a flesh and blood intruder who turned their lives into a living horror movie. So next time you hear a strange bump in the night, you might think twice before brushing it off. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as chilling as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the dark side of human nature. Stay safe out there.